Hey guys, Dimitri here. We're going to be showing you how to do scorpions to work on loosening up your lower back and increasing the range of motion in your hip area as well. Arms are going to be flat to the floor, head's nice and relaxed. You'll be taking one of your legs and coming across, tapping the floor and trying to open up your knees. From this position, you come across, tap, open your knee. I usually like starting off with this warm-up as my first exercise because from here, I can work on the posterior side of my body and then change over. Coming across, opening the knee. Now, if you're not able to come fully across and you can only make it to here, that's fine. As far as you can go, you don't have to go to the specific range. You want to try to open up your knee before you touch the floor. Cross and open. We're going to be talking about hip openers next. Now, two different types of hip openers. I like doing lying back hip openers, where you can lie back, grab your heels to the floor, drop your knees. Drop your knees to each side, and you want to kind of lift. You'll notice that your pelvis is going to lift up from each side. This is really, really good, especially if you've been sitting all day. At the end of your day, when you go home, you want to lie down the floor, really open up those hips, loosen them up. I like doing them flat on your back. You can also come down with one side and hold if you need to. 3, 2, 1, and across. These are called lying hip openers. We're going to be showing you how to do seated hip openers. You're going to sit down to the floor, try to have your heels for beginners as far out as you feel comfortable. For the more advanced person, you want to have your heels in as tight as possible, hands to the floor. You want to stick your chest out. You're going to drop your hips to one side and drop to the other. Okay? Typically, you want to try to do 10 repetitions of all these exercises so you can really warm up your body before you do the movement. That's why this is called a movement prep. If you want some bonus points, arch your back and hold your chest out while you're doing this movement and try to hold at the bottom part. Okay? Hold. One more time, nice and arched. Drop and hold. Awesome. Going on from the hip openers to the glute series program. So as you're doing your seated hip openers, once you did about 10 reps, next thing you want to do is drop your hips to the floor, bring one knee as close as you can to your foot, okay? And you want to grab onto the floor. Now for some people, this stretch may be as far as you can go. For others, it's maybe easy. And what you want to do is you want to curve your spine down to the floor and then roll it back up. And then swoop right down and roll it back up. Think of the motion of a wave, okay? You want to follow the natural movement and curvature of your spine. So you can work every little vertebrae coming up and back down. Okay, come right back down. So once you get about 4 or 5 repetitions from that, you'll come to the floor. You're going to take your leg and press it down to the floor as if I got an egg underneath and I'm pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Good. And as I come up, I can lift up this leg, and I can push to the floor if I need to. This is going to activate all the muscles in your glute area before you're doing your squats and lunges. And then come back down. Again, I swoop right down. And now from here, I can come to the side and really open up. And again, I'm going to swoop to the side. If you have time, try to keep it at 4 repetitions each. If not, you can go 2 to 3. Okay, so now I've warmed up my lower back. I'm stretching out my glute. I'm leaning forward. The next part I want to hit are my lats. So with my left leg down, my left forearm down, I'm going to reach out to the side, really stretch out. From this position, I'm stretching my lats, my arm. I'm going to come straight up. And I'm going to retract backwards. I'm going to hit all the muscle in the shoulders. I'm going to come right under if you're throwing the needle. And come right back up. So again, I'm reaching right over, stretching the side of the body, and come right back, and right under. Okay, once I've done one side, I'll transfer to the next side. We come down again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale coming up, exhale coming down. One more time. From this position, I'm going to push as hard as I can with my knee to the floor, and then relaxing. I'll come back up, and I'll lift my back leg as high as I can go. Okay, as I come down low, I'm going to try to keep as low as possible and hover to the right to the left. So I'm really going to hip flexors in this area, serratus anterior, bit of my lats. I'm going to come across and stretch my back as well. Stay as low as possible. Okay. And then I'm going to come down to my forearm and I'm going to reach out to the side. Try to get as linear as possible. Come straight to the ceiling and then right underneath. For those of you who are waking up tight in the morning, this is a great little routine you can do for the hips and shoulders. And right back up. Awesome. Come back to the starting point. Rocking plantar is your next exercise. Feet are nice and shoulder width apart, or as wide as you can go. I'm going to be coming with my hands forward and dropping. So this position, I'm pulling back and I'm going to lean to one side. I'm going to be working my lats and shoulders and then swooping down and around. And as I pull down, I'm really stretching those lats. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to come forward, drop my hips, and then come back and press my head forward. Forward, and I really want to stretch out my entire midsection. Again, hip flexors, all the muscles of the hip girdle area, and I'm looking right up, arching my back, right back down. Okay, 4 or 5 repetitions until you feel nice and loose. And that is called your rocking plantars. Okay, next we're going to be doing the ATWI movements. These are amazing for your upper shoulders, mid-thoracic spine, and lower back. These can be done on the floor, which is probably going to be a little bit more advanced, or you can do them sitting in a chair. Really, really good for posture. So we're going to start off with the letter A, coming down to the floor. You may want to put a towel to the floor if you like. I got my hat here to block me down. Your hands are going to be down, thumbs facing the floor. And what you want to do is you want to slowly start by raising your legs. If your back is okay, you don't have any pain, you continue with your legs up. If not, legs at the floor. So from this position, I'm going to be coming up with the legs, and I'm going to be coming up internally, externally rotating my wrists, holding up. I'm going to hold for 1, 2, 3, and relax. Come back down. And again, really what you're looking for is trying to get a lot of tightness and contraction in the upper shoulder area. This is great before you do your squat movements, any hip hinge movements, any deadlifts, any bent over rows, any movement that's going to require the posterior side of the body, because you're priming it up. You're getting it nice and warmed up for the workout. Okay, that's your letter A's. Next, arms to the side of your body. For T's, thumbs up. Again, legs coming up and arching and holding. 3, 2, and 1. Come back down to the floor. Right back up. If you are trying this out for the first time and you feel like you have a lot of pressure in your tummy, you probably can put a pillow or a towel in between to break some of that arch, okay? So again, coming right up. And back down. Holding. And relax. The third one is going to be the W, so elbows are in nice and tight. Lift up with the legs, externally rotate. I'm really squeezing my back and my lats together, and I'm pretending my elbows can touch. And then relax, put your face to the side, you may. Come back up, holding. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, and you'll feel your back staying nice and warmed up. And relax. Lastly, the Y. From this position, legs come up, the body comes up, and you hold. If you're noticing your back is starting to get warmed up or starting to get sore, let the legs be relaxed and just come up with the upper body. Okay? It's nice to mix the Y's with the A's by coming up and around. The more advanced you get, the easier these will be. Hold, back, and last one. And relax. Okay? Those are your ATWYs. Showing you the ATWI's sedentary versus lying down in case it's tough for you to get down to the floor, or you're working with an older client or a senior that's having trouble with their knees or their hips. Get them on this chair, roughly shoulder hip apart. If you need to go a little lower, always drop the box. Sitting at the edge of your chair, thumbs to the floor, externally rotate and hold. These are great to do every day at work. I'd set your alarm clock to ring every 2 hours to remind you to do these exercises. Think of the letter A. My head is the top part, my arms is the bottom part. Externally rotate, stick your chest out, squeeze your chest out, and pull your hips back for that position that you want to have in terms of neutral spine. Your T's, similar motion. You can hold and right back down. And you can feel just by doing this little movement, you're priming up your shoulders, your posture, ready for the exercise. Okay, last one. Okay, for W's, elbows nice and tight. Really open up the shoulders and hold. And coming right back in. Especially if you're gonna be doing any back movements that day, any squat exercises, you wanna have your back in the best posture as possible. So this will prime up your back and get it ready for those exercises. And lastly, your Y's. In this position, coming right back down, straight up. If you're noticing you're not able to pass your earlobe with your arm, that's giving you an indication you got tight shoulders. You want to make sure you can make that better. Okay, so band distraction techniques will help, sideline clocks will help, ATWIs will help. It's called a sideline clock. What you want to do is lie down on your side, arms to the floor, bring your knees up as high as you can. Okay, there's two variations of this. The first one's going to be the most important one, is your head is nice and relaxed. If you want, you can put a pillow underneath, or you can put your hand underneath. If not, you want to slowly walk around and let your arms travel all the way around, as loose as possible, around, touching the floor. Your goal is to slide it all around the floor and come from here. Again, going right around, touching the floor. This is a very good indicator of shoulder mobility. So if you try this exercise and you notice your shoulder pops and you can't fully go around, don't try to push yourself, force yourself, follow the natural movement. And as you do these, you'll get better with it. Okay? Typically 3 to 4 repetitions around. Another version is by coming right around across, tapping, and coming forward. If you want to get a little bit more range, you can cross your leg out, one leg straight, and from this position now, you're really opening up the thoracic spine area. It's okay if you can't touch the floor as you come across, because the more you do this, the better it's going to be. And come right across again. Okay? That's a sideline clock, really, really good for shoulder mobility. We're going to show you the dead bug. No, I'm not telling you to kill a bug and make it be dead, but the exercise, the dead bug. So you're lying on your back. This is one of the best movements to start a beginner off for any abdominal movements, because you're not going to put pressure on their lower back. So knees to 90 degrees, hands up. If you tell your client to do this and they already experience low back pain, you want to remove them from the legs up and keep one leg down. From this position, you ask your client, you lift your head up. Okay, they're okay. You're going to push one leg out and hold, pause, and then come right back in, and then switch with the other one. What you're trying to do is have a slow, controlled movement and really feel it in the core area. What you don't want to do is this. You're not giving your body the proper ability to contract and know which muscles are working, and also to engage your core in a nice, stable position. If your neck is hurting, relax and drop it down. As you get more advanced, you can drop one leg out and one arm out, right back together. If you're noticing your shoulders cannot go beyond this range, then again, it's an indication your shoulders are very tight. Okay? If you want to make this exercise a little harder, you can give someone a ball to hold on to, some dumbbells to hold on to, and they can do this motion. And again, you want to go slow and controlled. You do not want to have fast repetitions. Okay, nice and slow and controlled. We're going to be showing you the Birddog exercise. It's also known as the Superman. Extremely excellent exercise for your low back and shoulder area. Also good for balance and coordination. If you have clients that are having a tough time with balance and coordination, this is really good to do. So put your client in a shoulder width stance. You want to have their shoulders over their wrists. Try to keep the person from being in this position. So shoulders over the wrist. Right off the bat, they'll let you know if there's any pain in the wrist or the shoulder and they cannot support their own body weight. From this position, what you want to do is take one leg and push as far back as possible and hold. Opposite hand is going to come out, and your goal is to try to reach linear. A lot of people think you should be going as high up as possible. This is about strengthening and making the body linear. So you're going to hold, slowly come in, and transfer. If you're starting off someone from brand new, you slowly come in to transfer. The more advanced you get, you can come out from this position and keep the same arm and leg. Come in and touch, and right back out. Okay, in and out. If you're looking for breathing, you can inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. If you want to make this exercise, watch my back toe. If you want to make this more advanced, I'm going to go from this position and take it off the floor. Already you can see it's more advanced. When it comes in slowly, and right out again. Come in together, and right again. I think it's best to keep your client learning with their foot down so you can have a better positioning. And again, you're switching legs, coming out, holding. A lot of people have the toes pointed. You want your toes back up, squeezing the glutes so it's nice and tight in the back area, arm locked out and holding. A good trick to do is to kind of push them or nudge them a bit, see if they can lose their balance and hold position. If not, you're coming in, right back out. Make sure you do the same amount of repetitions for each leg, so if it's 10-10, they're nice and equal.